All right, guys, welcome to Growth Monday. It's a very special edition of Growth Monday. I'm very excited about today's show. Glad you guys were able to join us. I have a guest who I literally have known my entire life, and he's got, not only is he's my good friend, but he's actually very successful in his career. And I wanted him to share some of those things with you guys, with our friends, our family, business associates. Those are my connections on LinkedIn. I know most of you are watching this on LinkedIn. Some of you are watching on Facebook, some perhaps on YouTube. But feel free and put your comments in because I will be able to see your comments from either of those platforms. I want you to join this interactive discussion between myself and Matthew. But without further ado, I want to welcome the VP of Business Development over at Alliance Technical. Welcome to the show, Matt Gobert.
Hey, thank you, Rollis, for having me, man. It's been long overdue, brother.
Yes, sir. We've been trying to make this happen for a long time, and I'm glad to get you in. I think this is probably episode like 289 or something like that for me. So I'm close to 300 shows, but glad to have you on, my man. At some point, right? We got you on.
Hey, well, I always knew something was big happening. I mean, I remember, for those who don't know Rollis, the old school Rollis, he was the mixtape master back in the day, man. If you wanted the hottest mixtapes in Orange, you called Rollo up, and he had them there for you, man.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? The guy with all the connections, the guy who knows everybody, the guy who always has the greatest and latest and greatest fashions, that was Matt Gobert growing up, okay? All right, we're going to have fun, guys, tonight. So I want you guys to be ready to get involved with our discussion. And I'll be asking Matt some questions, but we're going to make some fun ones too now. We're going to have some fun questions. In fact, you know what? Before I get right into the business part of it, I'm actually going to ask you a fun question. Matthew, you ready?
Let's do it, Rollo. What you got?
Actually, I'm gonna stop saying Matthew. I never said Matthew. I'm going to say Matt. Okay, anyway. Yeah, all right. So do you want a would you rather or an open-ended question?
Up to you, brother.
Okay. All right. So would you rather attempt to sleep under bright lights or with a dog barking? You got to get some sleep. It's important. Which one would you rather go with?
It's you know what, man, I sleep like a rock no matter what, brother. That's probably not, I can sleep anywhere, anytime. So give me the bright lights, man.
Bright lights. Okay. Oh, see, we already got Jody. See, Jody, I can't say she jumps in on a lot of my shows, but this is a special one. So she's here. So hi, Jody. She says,
hey,
hi,
Jody.
And then we have Helen Davis. Is it Gobert? Gobert? Yes, it's Gobert. Yes.
Well,
Lisa's here. Lisa's here too.
It's they call me Gobert. It's a long story behind that. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, exactly. Guys in the comments, let me know what you would rather. If you had to choose, if you knew you needed to get some sleep, but you had to choose one of these two, dog barking or sleeping under bright lights, which one would you go with? Which one can you more easily sleep under? Okay, so let's talk about how relationships or transactional based selling, or however you want to call it, just networking. What has worked for you over the years? Has it been more relationship based or more transactional? What would you say?
I mean, although both are, you can do either or and be very successful. The relationship side has been really my go-to, man. I'm a huge, I love to network with people. I love to get to know others, and I love helping. I genuinely like to make sure I'm helping somebody. So the relationship base is way, that's my alley, man. That's the way I do things.
I can tell you, I've always noticed that. As long as I've known you, you've always been that kind of guy. Now, is that something that you feel like it was something you were raised? Like, what was it that caused you to be that way? Was it just by necessity? What is it that helped you to be that way?
Well, a lot of it has come with my background, my upbringing. I mean, growing up in a small town like you and I did in Orange, I mean, everybody, you grew up relationship based. I mean, a lot of the people we started elementary school with, we graduated high school with. I mean, relationships were just so important growing up. And it just followed me into my professional career.
Makes sense. By the way, so Joanna Rogers is here. She says,
"Hey,
hi, guys."
Joanna, what's going on?
Good to see you, Joanna. And she says bright lights. Bright lights is her thing. If she had to do it, she'll go with a bright light. Helen Davis says bright light. She's got an eye mask. Okay, see, she's already found a workaround. Look at her.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Helen says, "Oh no, Gobert." So she knows it's Gobert. But I got trained to start calling you Gobert because of Uncle Mike G. He wanted to be called. Gobert. So I learned to say Gobert, but I know it's Gobert too. That's true. Benita's here. She's from LinkedIn. Appreciate you being here. She says relationships over transactions. We agree 100%. Give me an idea. First of all, how did you? I kind of know this story. You tell me. How did you even get into the career that you're in? Because you're basically what's I guess referred to as downstream on the oil and gas industry or midstream.
Yeah, actually, I handle all. Downstream, midstream, upstream, anything in the oil and gas industry, anything dealing with environmental concerns. I mean, actually, it's a really easy story, man. Poor college kid needed a job. Somebody said, "Hey, you ever, want to check valves and make sure the atmosphere is clean?" They paid. I said, "Okay, let's do it." Here I am 30 years later, man.
Yeah, I think it was Josh, right? It was Josh Harris, right?
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day. And so you took that and grew that all the way up to this in your career. And by the way, in the comments, guys, if you're just not coming in, the reason why they're saying bright lights or if they're saying a dog barking, the question was, would you rather, if you knew you had to get some sleep, if you had to choose one of these two, attempt to sleep under bright lights or with a dog barking? Okay, so let me know if you have an answer already in the comments and I'll read them off. So go for it. Matt, what do you think helped you to kind of grow your career from where it was there, just taking that job all the way up to where you are now?
Well, it all has to do with relationships, man. I mean, everything's built around relationships. I've been really, really fortunate to work with some very, very talented guys, man. I started my career with Jim Cooper, he was really smooth with the way he built relationships, the way he handled things. One of the guys who took me under his wing, Larry Goldfine, started a small company. It doesn't seem big in most cases, but we started from $100,000 and grew it all the way up to 12.5 million in like 3 years. So it was all relationship based. I figure, it's really, really important. You build those relationships, everybody wants to see you succeed. Everything we do, most of our transactions, our day-to-day life, we do it with people we like. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that you grow from, in my case.
Okay, so and I want to ask you, when you think back on some of those relationships, because I know you said building relationships, I want to kind of get some ideas on how you build them, like what kind of intentionality you have on how you build them. But before we get to that, Nisa says, I could sleep with a freight train. Laugh out loud. She definitely can sleep no matter what. Okay, so appreciate you being here, Nisa. Thanks for answering our question. And I have another follow-up question for you too, before you get into that other meaty question I just asked you. Okay, guys, in the comments, I want you to answer this too at the same time. You've won an all-expense paid trip, but you only have 60 seconds to choose a destination. Where would you choose? So you start us off, Matt. Where would you choose?
Cowboy Stadium, man. I'm easy, bro. You know me. I'm real easy, man. Hey, Cowboy Stadium. Goodness. Hey, national championship game.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this: would you trade your season tickets to the Dallas Cowboy games with the ability to go to all the championships of all the major sports in the United States? So you'd be able to go to World Series, Super Bowl, NBA championship, Major League Baseball, everything. You'd be all those best tickets. Would you trade that for your Dallas Cowboys season tickets?
Not a chance.
Wow, are you serious?
Not a chance, man. That's my safe place, man. When I'm at the game on Sunday afternoon, that's my time. That's my me time, man.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay, on the comments, I want you to ask the same question. What would you rather have? Season tickets for your favorite team, okay, or be able to go to the championships of all the major sports? Okay, so Nisa says Bora Bora. Helen says Jamaica. Oh, I love Jamaica too, And Benita says Italy.
Man, Italy is beautiful this time of year, man. Especially Rome. Oh, beautiful place. Food is great. People are great. Hey, Bora Bora, never been there. Jamaica, awesome place. That's where you got married. I was in your wedding, brother.
That's right. That's
beautiful
right.
Place, man.
Yes. So those of you who follow my profile on Facebook, you can see pictures of myself and Matt. He was at my wedding, and that was 23 years ago. Wow, I just cannot believe it's been that long. It's
man. It's definitely flown by, brother. But it's all
Jason,
good, man.
it's all good. You're right. It's all good. Jason says, good answer, Matt. He appreciates your answer. Oh, Joanna says Sydney, Australia. Jason says season ticket. So I guess he's with you on that. Is he a Cowboys fan too? Are you a
Oh,
Cowboys
definitely,
fan?
man. I think Jason is, man.
Okay. And then let's see, what is Benita's saying something here, but I can't see. I can't scroll there.
Oh, what is my favorite restaurant in Dallas? Benita, I have a whole Dallas hotspot list. I mean, but my favorite restaurant I go to it every Saturday night before the game is Nick and Sam's down in Uptown. Great
Nick
place,
and
great
Sam's.
atmosphere, awesome place to be.
Okay, now Benita, she's into world trade. She knows all about trade and everything. I learn a lot from her posts when I watch them. So Jason's going to go with season tickets, and we still need to know what team that's for, Jason. I think it's Dallas, but I'm not sure.
No, he's a Lions fan. He's a Detroit guy.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then Benita says now she knows your favorite restaurant in Dallas, and okay, Joanna says definitely season tickets to my Cowboys. Yep, 23 years. It's flown by. Helen says, if not, Texans give. It's not Texans, give it up.
Okay, Helen, we go forgive you, Helen. Now we know.
Okay, so go back to our other question: building relationships, and I think this can actually apply whether we're talking about probably business, if we're talking about sales, career, what have you, or probably just even regular relationships. What are some building blocks and that you use in order to build that relationship? How do you approach each relationship that you're trying to build?
Well, and that's the biggest thing, to me, the biggest difference between relationship and transactional is, you go from a relationship standpoint, you want to get to know the person, understand their pain points, really, really dig in to where, maybe what you have may not be good for them. And you want to be upfront and honest. I mean, that's where a relationship is. Because me, if I have a product or a service that really, really can benefit you, I'm looking to work with you. I mean, most of my customers I've had relationships with for the past 20, 25 years. So, I mean, if I can help you out, I really want to deep dive in there and make sure it's beneficial to you. To me, transactional is not as deep diving. It's like, hey, we got a patch for you real quick, buy it, and we'll go from there.
Right. Okay. Now, this is you brought up something that I want to kind of just dig a little bit deeper on. So let's say you have an opportunity where you're building this relationship. They seem like they could be a good prospect for you, a good customer, but for whatever reason, you don't have what they're looking for. And so at this point, now you're having to make a decision. Do I try and retrofit something for them, or do I try and help them with someone else? Why do you look at it the way you do, that you want to still try and help them out, even though you probably won't be able to help them out?
Again, it's the relationship course, because sooner or later they will find some way they need, especially in the oil and gas. I mean, environmental, everybody has to comply with the regulations and things that are set forth. So sooner or later, there's something I can help you with. But in the meantime, in that relationship process, if I can refer you to somebody in my network, that's huge, because not only am I keeping you in my network, I'm also referring to somebody that's also going to send work back to me one day because of the favor I did for you.
Now, has that ever happened? Have you ever had a situation where you weren't able to do business with them, you helped them out, and lo and behold, they came back later?
Oh yeah, all the time, man. I've had one customer I had where we helped him out several times, referring him to other people to help other service providers. And I mean, it took almost 5 years, but he gave me one of the biggest opportunities ever to date in my career. And again, it's built on relationships, man. I mean, those things, you have to really want to help the people. You have to really want to build it. A lot, the biggest key is listening, man. Understanding what people need. But you understand, I mean, in the relationship thing, I mean, you go from being somebody you just met, right, whether it's at a networking event or at some sort of seminar, to where you may have drinks or dinner, to where you go from where, hey, you're meeting each other's spouses, you know each other's kids, alma maters. I mean, those are relationships, because people move around. I mean, I may be at with one company for a couple of years and move. You want that person to remember you and take you wherever they go.
Yes, that is so true. All right, so Benita says Nick and Sam's it is, and then Nisa says good relationship is great customer service. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. Because at the end of the day, everybody remembers. They don't always remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. Huge,
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, Farrah, good to see you. Glad you're here with us. Okay, so I'm going to do another fun question. We got a little bit of serious topics here, but we're going to put some fun in there too, okay? All right, so I got another fun question for you. Do we want it to be open-ended or do you want a would you rather?
Open-ended. Let's go with it.
Okay, open-ended. What food, the guys in the comments, I want you guys to answer this for me too. What food can't you stop eating when it's in front of you? Is there a food that just, when it's in front of you, you have trouble not eating it or to stop eating it? What is that?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I guess the hardest thing is for me is spaghetti. I can eat spaghetti 5 days a week, cold, hot. I mean, my wife can't stand spaghetti because of me. Hey, but you know what? Growing up, living on your own, going to school, working, spaghetti is one of the cheapest, quickest things you can do. And it is what it is, man.
Yeah, that was one of those things that I had to learn pretty early on because I like spaghetti too, and that was one of the things I could make that was pretty easy to make. Because I can also make gumbo or crawfish etouffee, but it's much harder. It takes longer to make that. So the spaghetti, that was my staple for a little while there, man. So I definitely can agree with you on that. So yeah, Helen says 100% she agrees with you. And Benita says they won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So thanks for documenting that for us, Benita. Appreciate that on your comment. Okay, guys in the comments, let me know what you think on that. What food is it that you just cannot stop eating what's in front of you? One of the things that I struggle with stopping eating is the cinnamon rolls. If I got a nice cinnamon roll in front of me and it tastes great, it's hard for me to stop eating that. Or waffles or pancakes, any of that kind of stuff. That's a little tough for me to stop eating. Okay. All right, going back to our subject again. One of the things that I've also observed about you is even when we were giving parties, right, back in the day together, you wanted to make sure everybody had a great experience. Like they were getting something good out of it. And even if someone was kind of off to the side, you would kind of bring them out and just make sure that they were having a good time. So I kind of saw that back then, but I never would have thought that you would have taken it to the next level in your business. Tell us about some of the successful events you were able to give with not a whole lot of money. And like you had a small budget to work with, and you're still able to create an amazing experience. I think that's going to help some folks who are watching this. They might be able to create great experiences for other people, and that could help them in their business or in their career.
Yeah, no. The biggest thing you got to look at when you focused on going into a networking event is, to me, there's 4 things that you should focus on getting out of any kind of networking event. One, most people go to see if they can find customers or clients. That's great if you can do that. The other thing is, hey, an event, you might be able to find your next greatest employee, your next great employer. I've always found out there's always, lifelong friendships you can make from networking, and even some bonus things. I mean, you may be able to find your next best investor, our next really good investment. So when you're going into a networking event, have your mind wide open for a multitude of things, not just for looking for the next customer or client that you run into.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's great. The other thing I think is getting to know what people are looking to get out of the network when they come in. A lot of times we have sign-up pages. I usually ask them, what are you looking to get in or get out of the networking event? When they tell me kind of the story, what they're working with, now I make sure I match these people up. You know what I mean? Nobody comes in there. If you leave without meeting at least somebody, you will meet at least one person that you have something in common with. And I will make sure of that. And, and mix it up a little bit. I mean, we've done things where we had we had silent discos. I mean, you want to talk about seeing some funny characters. You put a room full of engineers with some headphones on. Oh, you have no idea, man. That is, but I mean, everybody enjoyed themselves. And It was a great event. You can take the headphones off when you want to have a serious conversation. Put them on when you don't want to talk. So it's really good thing, man.
This is interesting. I want to, for those who may not know what a silent disco is, just explain basically what that is. What is a silent disco?
Well, silent disco is when you walk in the room, everybody's given a pair of wireless headphones. You put those on, and there's a DJ playing, and he's playing 3 different tracks. You usually, whatever those tracks, whether it's country, R&B, salsa, merengue, whatever those may be. So everybody sees, based on the color on your headphones, what they're playing. You kind of get to the group that's playing your kind of music. Great icebreakers when you have those type of things. So really, really good. And a lot of times, I mean, people, especially our age, they have kids who are in college that they heard of a silent disco. They have no idea what it is. So they thought they were pretty cool going back telling their kids, hey, I just had a silent disco event, man.
That's cool. I love it, man. That's a really cool idea. So when you're walking up to someone or you kind of vibing to the same music, at that point, I guess, is there like a signal you start taking off your headphones and they'll take theirs off? Is that how does
Yeah,
that
yeah,
work?
yeah. No, yeah, definitely. You take the headphones off, you have a great conversation, introduce yourself, and you kind of move on with the flow, man. And one of the key things for me, whether I'm throwing a networking event or just attending, I try to make a mental note of what everybody's there for. Hey, what are you looking to get out? That way, even if I'm not hosting the event, I'm still matchmaking the whole time. Hey, you're here.
Wow.
Oh man, I met a guy who's looking for that, or I met a guy who's in that field. Let me introduce you guys real quick. It's really it's one of those things. When you're networking, you're always networking, man. It's nonstop.
I love that. Okay, can you think of an example where you met someone at a networking event, you linked them up with somebody else, and lo and behold, something either came out of that transaction or maybe even later on down the road, you ended up doing business with them?
Yeah, at one not too long ago in Austin, we had a big environmental conference and had two people there. One I really wanted to do a lot of work with. The other, he was looking for somebody that he can actually get in the same facility as well. I actually pulled them both together to the photo booth, which was a huge icebreaker, man. If there's a photo booth at an event, utilize it to the max, man. We got behind the photo booth, took a quick picture, and as we were waiting for it to print out, we kind of introduced one another and realized that, hey, the guy I just introduced you to, you guys have an immediate need right there. So, like 2 months later, they gave me a call and said, hey, really appreciate what you did. They really did a great job for us. Now let's talk about what the services you provide.
I like that.
So it was really good, man. I think it helped out, but
that's awesome. All right, okay, so we have quite a few people who already answered us on the food that they have the most trouble to stop eating. Okay, so Helen says Lay's potato chips. Benita says anything with a dip or sauce. Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yes.
I see Dehan enjoying this, man. What's going on? Pizza, huh, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Dehan? Okay, so Farron says so many fries, nachos, crab. Ooh, the fries. Those are tough. Those are tough to stop. Yeah. Dehan says pizza. Appreciate you, Dehan. Good to see you, my man. And Nisa says crawfish.
All right. I like not a bad thing.
Benita says silent discos with engineers. Brilliant. Okay, Benita, you got to let me know if you end up trying that idea. I think it's a great idea for one, because she does a lot of networking stuff too herself. Okay, and then it says LinkedIn user, Eagle Point, Oregon Live. I wonder if that's Joe. Is that you, Joe? Let me know if that's you, Joe. Appreciate you coming back, by the way, if that's you or whoever you are. Okay. She's clapping here. Okay, I got another fun question for you, because guys, if you're just watching, we're talking about building relationships. Is that a great way to go, or is it more transactional? And both myself and Matt have agreed that relationship is the way to go. It may not always lead to immediate business, but down the road it can definitely help you. And I can definitely say I've been recipients of that as well. Okay, so here's my fun question for you. I just lost. Oh yeah. Which 3 colors describe your personality? Guys, in the comments, I want you guys to answer the same question. Which 3 colors best describe your personality?
Wow, that's a good. Well, just took a personality test. So I would say orange, which is outgoing, fun. And I would say blue, which is very caring and giving. And I guess if I had to do another one, maybe red. And I really don't know why. I just like red. So.
Okay. I like red too, man. So blue and red are probably a couple of my top ones there. I like blue. It's more of a trusting color. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of cool. I always like blue. But then like red is kind of fast, sporty, kind of like the whole, exciting is red. And then I think my third is probably gonna be green. I remember I used to love green. I remember that time I got that at Honda Accord. I was so proud of that Honda Accord because it was in that special kind of green, because it was like a dark green. You remember that car?
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. That was our ride. Hey, man, many quick trips in that vehicle, brother. Really, really quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Great
So guys are just coming in. I'm actually here with my lifelong friend, Matt Gobert. He's a successful business person, but he also happens to be my close friend. He's been my friend since we were literally babies. We were born right down the street from each other, just a few doors down. Neither one of us could find the picture, but there's actually a picture of us in a baby crib together. That's how long we've known each other. But I've been trying to get him on the show, and finally I was able to get him on the show. Very happy to have him on. Guys, keep coming with these comments. I love it. So Jason says, He says Philly cheesesteaks from Philly. Those are hard for him to put down. Okay, and smoked barbecue. And my Facebook user, I think it's Joe. Is it Joe who's the Facebook user? If you're not, let me know who you are, because it just shows, I'm sorry, LinkedIn user. It says LinkedIn user. Okay, Benita says yellow, blue, and green. And Demon says, all right. Okay, hey, all right to you. Glad to have you, my man. And that's who we got here. Nisa says black, red, and blue. And Benita says yellow, involve me. Blue, give me the facts. Green, show me you care. Oh, wow. I like that.
Okay, all right, Benita. We got Miguel on the line.
Oh, what's up, Miguel? Good to see you, my man. We got Miguel on here. So Miguel is Matthew's brother, guys. All right. And I've been knowing him since he was a baby too. So I can't. Only reason why I knew him before he knew me is I came before him. Okay. Otherwise, he'd know me before I knew him. Okay. So we also got Farrah. She says purple, fuchsia, and black.
Okay.
All right.
Fuchsia. All right.
Now I'm not even. What is fuchsia? What is fuchsia again? I forgot. What is that? Is it like a purplish color?
Is it like a fancy pink? I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think it is like a pink.
I don't know, man.
Sorry, Farrah. I'm a guy, and sometimes those complicated colors,
Man, I see you got Mitzi Bates, man, from Orange, Texas.
Wow.
He actually graduated
Look
as
at
well,
that.
man.
Missy Bates. Wow. Good to see you.
Man, I love
Blast
the
from the
support, huh?
past.
Yes,
What's up?
Yes,
Chips and hot
everybody,
sauce.
man.
Ooh, I love some chips, some good hot sauce. Let me ask you this, Missy. Does it need to be super spicy, or do you not like spice? I love spice. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of the road, bro. Me and Spices don't get along too well.
I love spicy. Okay, and then she says blue, black, and purple. Awesome. Roy Mazagate,
okay.
Look at this.
Roy,
awesome.
man, all right.
Good to see you, Roy. Wow, this is awesome.
Man.
Okay, he says, proud of my class. Love you guys. Hey, man, love you right back, my man.
Love you back, brother.
Margot's here.
Margot,
hey guys,
love you, man.
both.
It's been a long time. Love you
Wow.
there. Appreciate the support, man.
That's awesome. And Farrah, thank you for defining that like a hot pink. I can visualize that.
Okay.
When we were in Beverly Hills, California a couple of years ago visiting there, it's this thing where they would take these really fancy cars, and I can remember it vividly. It was a Porsche, the four-door Porsche. Is it Cayenne? Is that what they call them? I think it was a Cayenne. It was a four-door Porsche, and it was fuchsia. That thing was fuchsia, and it was metallic, where you could see your reflection of you. It's like a mirror looking at this thing, and it was pink, rolling down Rodeo Drive. I remember that just like it was yesterday.
Okay, all right.
All right, Benita says, literally, you've been in each other's crib. That's right. We have been in each other's crib. We have literally been in each other's crib.
Yeah.
Okay, going back to our discussion. We're going to go back. Okay, we're going to get serious for a few minutes, and we'll go back to the fun. Okay, guys? So let me ask you this. What do you think, in terms of your career, what has been probably the most instrumental thing instrumental relationship you've had that's really helped you propel, whether it was towards the beginning, towards the end, the middle? What was that? Can you think of a key relationship that really helped you?
Yeah, man, I have a business partner of mine. We've actually worked together for 28 years.
Wow.
A gentleman by the name of Brian Whitley. Really, really sharp, focused gentleman. Great guy. We just recently parted ways. Our company was acquired by a bigger firm, and he elected to start his own business. But, just having somebody that you can learn off of, somebody kind of your yin to your yang there. I mean, there was not one meeting we couldn't be in there to where we could almost finish one another's sentence, man. And when you have somebody that you kind of grow into this industry with, that has your back, you have their back, man, it's just nothing like it, man. I mean, definitely the relationship goes far beyond just being business partners. I mean, we're brothers when it comes down to it.
That's awesome. And it was interesting is that, and so Missy says, by the way, hey guys, not real spicy. She's kind of like you, Matt. She doesn't want too much spice in there. So what's interesting though, is that you met this person pretty early on, relatively speaking, in your career. And what I'm gathering from that is those of us who may be a little bit earlier in our career, or maybe it's someone who we just met, we just don't know where that relationship is going to lead, because I don't think you had any idea it would last 28 years, did you?
No, not at all. I mean, again, just two young guys, just starting our careers out. But we had a connection. It's one of those things, it was a spark. And we had a lot of things in common. And actually we didn't have a lot of things in common. He's more of a transactional guy. I'm more of a relationship guy. But we've learned to respect you. I mean, he was real successful at he did, and he also brought me in when he was dealing with a customer who was more relationship based. He knew that was my deal. So he would introduce me. I had very transactional customers I would deal with. I would bring Brian to the table. So we kind of worked off one another really, really well from that aspect of it.
That's interesting. So, okay, now you got me thinking here, thinking this a little differently here. So let's say I'm a relationship kind of guy. Do I need to partner up with someone who's more transactional? And if I'm a transactional kind of guy, like I just kind of lean more towards let's get the deal done and move on, I don't need a relationship. Should I perhaps partner up with someone who's more on the relationship side? Do you see a benefit of partnering up with someone, or do you see more of a benefit of just trying to do a little bit of a better job of both? What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely, you can do a really good job of kind of juggling both, but for me, it's worked really well when I had somebody who was totally opposite of me, because you will run into the customer, the client, and say, look, just cut the bull, man. Just tell me what I got to pay. This is what I want. I don't want to deal with anything else. Okay. All right. Those are, then, for him, he did not like relationships. He just wants to get in. Let's talk about business. I don't have time to go to lunch. I know you don't either. I'm out of here. And that's so, together. But over the years, we really learned from one another to where he's way more relationship based now, as well as, I can be more transactional if needed. But I do agree. I mean, my thing is relationships are the way to go, man. I mean, even I've had customers not only change jobs and call me back, I've had them change whole industries, but always look out for me. I mean, it's almost like one of those gifts that keeps giving.
Love that. That makes sense. So I guess it depends on whatever person's situation, but really either can work. Okay, so let me ask you this. This is kind of a little fun question here. If you could talk to one animal, which one would it be and why? And guys, in the comments, I want you to tell me the same thing. If you could talk to any kind of animal, what would it be and why? And before you answer the question, though, Matt, let me just check in with some of these comments here. Okay, so Missy says, loving this session. I'm a small business owner. Relationships are the most important. Yes, we both agree with you. You got here, right here. Yes, that's so true. And then Joanna says, my business is built on relationships. I like to make my clients feel like an extension of my family. Invest in the time to really get to know your clients, their children. Their interest is very rewarding, as it does reap benefits in my business, such as referrals. Love that. Thank you for sharing
100%,
that.
man, 100%.
Okay, do you have anything you want to add to any of those two comments either Missy or Joanna just made?
No, I think those are huge, man. The relationship-based platform for me has been one of the things, not only has been very rewarding from a professional side, but from a personal side. I mean, I've gone to customers' weddings, their, baby showers, anniversary parties, you name it. I mean, you are part of the family, and that's a gift that keeps giving, man. I mean, and in those relationships, my son, while he was in college, it was a relationship that got him his first internship. It was a relationship that got him his first job out of college. So, I mean, these relationships can be far extended, man.
That is so true. You know what? An incredible employee we were able to pick up purely through relationships, because a good friend of mine, his name is Chris Hooker. He says, hey, my daughter, she's looking for a job, or is about to start looking for a job, and just want to see if you might be able to help her with some resume tips. Maybe look at her resume and see, see what's going on there. I said, sure, no problem. I looked at her resume, we ended up hiring her. She's been with us for like 7 years. And
Wow.
she's a manager now, doing well, all that. So you just never know how it's going to work out. But it went right back to a relationship.
No, definitely, man. I would like to ask. Well, we answer your question first, and I have a question for you guys.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you answer my question, then you go ahead and ask them a question. Go ahead.
No, if I can talk to any animal, wow, that's a tough one, man. I would definitely want to maybe a killer whale.
Interesting, a killer whale. Wow. Okay, cool. Why a killer whale? Why'd you pick that one?
You actually caught me. I was on the plane, had nothing to do, YouTubing. They are some of the smartest, animals on the planet. They hunt in packs. They're fierce. They know exactly what they want, the way they plan their attacks. I mean, just everything's coordinated. And they're very successful at it as well.
Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so Benita loved this point that was made about bringing. She says bringing each other to the table. Brilliant. I don't remember. You said that. I don't remember. That was awesome.
Yeah,
So I
man,
like
we
that.
love to bring, that's a good point, Benita. I mean, when you're in a situation where you're doing a presentation in a group, you're so busy talking sometimes, you really don't look at the body language, who's really listening, who's not listening. And when you bring that person to the table with you, man, they kind of keep you on key, or even they're kind of slowly transitioning you to keep the audience involved. I always love bringing, especially when they're opposite, man. Those are great things for me.
Yeah, also another thing you just mentioned that it reminds me of, because I've been guilty of this in presentations, is that I'm so focused on my presentation and not necessarily the audience that I end up losing my audience, maybe somewhere as early as a third of the way through. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've already lost them. Where using this table illustration, it's almost like we're kind of eye to eye, really, really communicating with each other and really finding out, like what you said earlier, what do they want to get out of this thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love that point. Okay, so as far as the animals, Benita says my dog, I would ask him to explain himself a lot. Jason says my huskies, they are nuts.
Oh man, yeah, I can imagine.
And okay, Farrah says this is interesting. She says elephants because I love them. They're so interesting, intelligent, and they always remember. And
I always
Joanna's,
remember that. That sounds like my wife, Farrah.
my wife remembers everything too.
Everything, man, everything.
Okay, and then Joanna says absolutely. So for what you just said, Matt, she liked that. And okay, so you're gonna ask a question. Go ahead and you ask a question.
Go, keep going. I forgot. I was having so much fun.
Farrah says that yes, they have great memories. Okay, and then this is exactly I think that I don't know if it's like all females. I don't know if it's like most females or whatever, but just the ones that I've interacted with, they seem to usually have a better memory than me. I don't know. Is that am I on to something there, or is it just purely coincidental? I don't know.
100%, man. Hey, if it wasn't for my wife, I'd forget my neck was attached to my body half the time, man. So, yeah. I want to ask something. I see you have a great group here in the comments field, and a lot of people are small business owners. One of my, I've worked for a lot of smaller firms. I worked from some big firms, and just kind of get everybody's opinion. One of the things that I like to create, especially when I'm doing networking events, is FOMO is alive, bro. You know what I mean? And if you create that FOMO, I mean, I've had events where I didn't even think I can carry it on, man. And next thing you know, I have 300 attendees, there. And it's just that whole, do you guys have a lot of a good fortune at creating a FOMO, and how does it work for some of the people tuning in?
That's a great question, guys. So let us know what you think in the comments. Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, let us know. Have you been able to kind of generate that fear of missing out for those who are perhaps you didn't even know if they were going to show up or not, and they just show up in droves? I love that. Now, I think that you probably were on to something, because I think there's a lot of people who say that, you know what, I would struggle getting 300 people to an event. So what are some things that you were able to do that you think that helped you to get them there? And I'm understanding that fear of missing out as part of it, but you also have to kind of get it out there where they know that what they're missing out on, right? They know that you got this event coming. What did you do to get it out there?
Well, one of the biggest things is, there's several things. One, I'm not afraid to partner up with my competitors. I think that's one of the biggest fears for most people is, hey, I don't want to get my competition around my current clients. Well, hey, if a beer gets your current client to leave you, they were gone already. Sorry to tell you that. They were already on the down. They're already looking. So, newsflash, they're already on the fence there. So, but a lot of times I've partnered up with my competition, and they bring their set of customers to the table. I bring my set. Great way. I mean, especially nowadays where very few people, not that they don't enjoy lunches or getting together, they don't have the time during the day. So, that was an opportunity for me to get in front of several people I've tried to call on for years. Finding 2 or 3 other professionals that are in the same industry but offer different services, teaming up with those guys. So now you're bringing together a lot of people that don't even know they need your services until you introduce yourself to them at the networking event.
Wow, that's very interesting. That's a great point. I love that point. There have been times when I have willingly partnered up with people who are really competitors, if you will, in our industry. And so being willing to do that, it can bring some great things. And not everybody's for everybody, right? There may be certain clients or customers that just for whatever reason, they just gravitate to me and not to my competitor. But then also the opposite is true. For whatever reason, they just don't vibe with me, and they're going to vibe better with it. So really, whether I have them at the networking event or not, it's not going to change it. The beer, like you said, it's not going to change it.
They were already gone, buddy. Already on the fence, man. It was already around. But that also shows confidence in your relationship, because I can bring all my, I have, first of all, I think most of my competitors are really good friends of mine. I make sure, hey, we're all out here trying to do the same thing, man. Build a career, make a living for a family. So I have really good relationships with those guys. But in the beginning, they were like, wow, you're going to introduce me to your customers? Yeah, why not? If they like you better than me, and there's, hey, free game there, man. Have at it. Yeah. I'm not doing something right if they left me for it,
It's not like you can put your clients in a bubble. You can't protect them. They're gonna find about those other guys anyway. Okay, so we got some good comments here. Joanna says, she says wisdom. Oh, wisdom.
Oh, I like that, Joanna. Like good one, great one.
That's cool. Benita says, yes, partner with competitors. So she agrees with you on that. Farah says, I have a question about how early you market the event and what format. Online, emailing, what is your marketing strategy? That's a good question. Thank you for that, Farah.
So I have a combination, Farah. That is a great question. I like to do at a minimum 30 days out. If you can give me 3 months, perfect, but 30 days out at a minimum. And online is great format, using whether it's LinkedIn, different social media platforms. But my best way to get people out is my contact list, man. I will text the heck out. A personal text message invitation puts people on the spot. Now you have to tell me no. Yeah. So true. Hey, now you have to tell me no. So that's one of those things. It's easy just not, hey, I didn't see your post, man. I must have missed that. But when I send you a text, you got to tell me no. It is okay to say no, but you have to tell me no.
That's true. That's so true. Because text has like a 98% open rate. Yes. So if you send out 100 texts and like nobody's responding, yeah, you need to change up that marketing or something.
Something's going on, man. But you send out the text. Nothing makes somebody feel like they have to commit, especially if you have a relationship. Then a personal text message saying, hey, will I see you next week? Oh, crap. Well, okay, I'll be there.
That's a great point. Guys, if you don't get anything out of this show today, that is one thing I tell you, I would take that to the bank right there. Yeah, LinkedIn is good. That's good. But make sure these LinkedIn people who you have, get their mobile number if you don't have it. And like you said, their contacts, people who you already have relationships with, you're texting them. I love that. That's gold right there. Okay.
And be honest with them and tell, hey, look, man, I'm doing this networking event. I need you there. Come help me, man. I need you there. Could you show up to support me? Now you're not only inviting them, you're putting it on, hey, man, I need you there to help support me. So now that's both, that's a lot. How can you tell them no?
Yeah. One time, okay, we were eating dinner not too long ago, and you gave me an idea that day. You said, some of these people who have all these people who like and comment on their stuff, they have people that's texting them, hey, like my post or whatever, comment on my post. I was thinking, I never thought to do that. But you told me, you opened up my eyes up to that. So guys, if you're not doing that, when you probably would suggest that to them too, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I have at least 20 people I know very well in the industry that they'll put a nice post on LinkedIn or another social media platform, and I get that text, hey Matt, like it. Hey, say a comment. Some people just send me a script. Not only comment, say this. Hey,
yeah, that's good.
Whatever helps, man.
I'm telling you, what you said is so key about if you put a post on LinkedIn. I do this all the time. Crickets, nobody's I guess they swipe right there. Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't see that, man. But if you text them, I mean, they have to respond or just not. If they ghost you, that's a little rough right there. You know, you kind of know where you stand.
You got to talk about the friendship vibe there. You don't have a relationship. You need to work on your relationship building skills if they ghost you.
And also, it sometimes too, it's just it takes a small spark sometimes to really get things going. And so if you can get that first 10, 15, 20 people that are interested in your stuff, it can start snowballing. That's probably how it happened with your stuff, right?
Oh yeah, you get, and that's what I mean. It's that whole FOMO vibe. I mean, there's several events we do around the country every year that people start calling me a year in advance. Say, hey, make sure we're on your list. Hey, make sure you got us down. I'm bringing 3 people. I told my husband about it. I told my wife about it. I'm bringing them to the next event. So, I mean, it's all about getting them in. And they go to the first event. You make sure everybody feels good and comfortable. They're going to tell the next person, this is the event you need to be at. And it's about finding those people. You know, I'm really not worried about the individuals that are already networking, talking. I'm looking for the people in the corner, not sure how to approach somebody, not sure what to talk about. Those are the guys I grab and just kind of interject them into other people's conversations.
That's gold right there. Okay. A lot of comments came in. We got Jason. He says, great information. Love trying to get better insight to better myself. Listen to you guys while I do my homework. And Matt provided me great stuff. Appreciate you, Jason. Love it. Okay. Farrah says, I feel like it's 90% promotion. The actual event is only 10%. What would you say to that, Matt?
I would say, I definitely understand. I've been to some events where the promotion and the hype is really, really good. You know, and they probably spent $15,000 to $20,000 on the event. Got there and I was totally disappointed. Kind of like, you know, when you're in high school or not high school, maybe college, you hear the club, you hear the music, you walk in and nobody's in there dancing. But I've also been to events where it cost them $1,000 and they had a line around the corner because everybody was in there because that's where I say, hey, come on in. They got something out of it. When people know that they're going to get something out of your event, whether it's a contact, a business partner, an employee, they understand that, man. It's you want to go. I mean, and right now with the state of America and how hard it is to find personnel. I mean, it's so hard to find good people, and you know, go to a good solid event, you meet tons of potential employees there.
Okay, now you got me thinking about something here. Okay, if you had to put a percentage on it, how much percentage of your time, effort, and resources, whatever that looks like, would you spend on the promotion versus the experience of the event itself? Like your mind share, what do you think about the most? What gives you the most angst, or like, I want to make sure this is right? Is it more the promotion or is it more the event itself?
So a lot of my time is spent on the event itself. That's where lights, camera, action. That's where I go into my whole, I'm busy from the time I walk through the door to the time. I mean, I'm so exhausted by the time it's over with. You thought I ran 3 laps, man. It was just, but I have a really good team. They handle all the details. It's kind of like, you know, we'll have a meeting before, you know, anywhere between 30 and 60 days before the event. I kind of tell them what my ideas are. I mean, they put it on paper, they make it happen. And I show up and just kind of make sure the vibe, the setting, make sure everybody's mixing and mingling. I mean, we've done things. We had a lady we had a harp player, and she wasn't your typical harp player. I mean, everybody walked in, saw her setting up the harp, and then she bust out with Metallica, man. I mean, oh, wow. You see somebody with a harp, and they break out in Metallica. I mean, it just, right off the bat. I mean, those are things, you know, are moments that people are telling people, though, they couldn't wait to come to the next event to find out what kind of entertainment we're going to have.
That's gold right there, guys. That's gold right there. Thinking out of the box, giving people experiences that are unique, that they're going to talk about. They're going to make them want to come back next year. I love that. That's awesome. Okay. Farrah says, so many comments came through. Oh, here we go. Nisa says, your service sets you apart from your product has been my experience. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Benita, she's laughing about, I don't know if it's about the harp player or what it was. Okay. And then Farrah says, that's a great strategy. Thank you. So she loves that strategy. I love it too. Nisa, it's your presentation. Okay. Very good.
Ma'am.
Thank you for that.
Ma'am.
And Matt, Benita says, Matt, put me on the list. I will support
Next
you.
list, Benita. You're going to be there. Promise. Oh, wow. We got Tremaine.
What? Tremaine in the house.
Whoa. QB1. All right.
Okay, guys, we got Tremaine Lewis. He's our classmate from high school, and he was our star quarterback back in the day. Won a championship here in Texas. So appreciate you being here, Tremaine. And to say hello to Vaughn and the family, everybody.
Definitely, man.
Okay, so Benita says, right, grab them from the corners. There you go. She says, love it. And Tremaine got something else. Agree. The experience is what people remember. Thank you, Tremaine. That's so true. I think, and you know what? Today, here's the only thing I'll add on that point is today, even online, it's all about experience. Because if I go to Amazon and you go to Amazon, our Amazon account is going to look totally different when we log in, right? Because they're going to be showing you stuff that you've been interested in the past or that you might be interested in based on your browsing history. And same for me. The same thing is with LinkedIn, same thing with Facebook. All these different platforms, they cater the platform to that person, and it's there to make their experience the best. And so if they go to an event, it's a one size fit all. It doesn't feel like it's customized to them. It's just not what they're used to now. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think if you customize the event and sometimes you got to get people out of their comfort zone. Some people don't even know what they like until you introduce them to certain things, based on
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Culture, their companies. I mean, I love Tremaine's, experience is what people, you got that one chance, like they said, it's a presentation of experience. That one time, that one event, that one networking will determine whether they come back to the next one or even bring people to the next one for them. I mean, we've had people, come across country just to make sure they were at our next event. So it's all about the experience, man. Well, we got some other people there, Rollins. We got Tremina.
What you say? Tremina in the house. What's going on, Tremina? How you doing?
Man, hey, guys. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Tremina. Good nugget, she says.
Man.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. So I got another fun question for you guys in the comments. I want you guys to answer the same question because we're mixing fun with serious. Okay. So we got some serious stuff done. We're going to ask another fun question here. All right. Would you rather, if you had to pick, to have a celebrity chef for a week or a housekeeper for a month?
Oh, give me the housekeeper, man. 100%, man.
Why is that?
I'm not thinking, hey, man, I like everything I travel a lot for business. So one of the best things for me is walking into a hotel that they just cleaned before. Hey, give me a housekeeper to follow me around. I'd love that, brother.
That, you know what? You're onto something. I actually wouldn't have thought of that, but that's a good point. That's a good point. You wouldn't have to pick up nothing, man. You just do whatever you do. Man. Just keep walking. Of course, maybe your housekeeper might not like you that much, but
well, you can even cook and leave the dishes. You got a housekeeper.
That's true.
The cook might not,
because it's fun to cook, but you don't want to clean up. That's a good point. I like that. Okay. All right. So what's up, Hazel? Hazel's in the house. So look at this.
Yeah,
what's up, Hazel? Man. How you doing?
Wow.
Welcome to the house. Look at that. We got the whole West Orange Star High School class coming in here. We love this.
Yeah.
Okay. And Missy says, getting some great info from you two successful guys. Appreciate y'all experience and knowledge of making a business better. Appreciate you being here, Missy. Thanks for saying that. That's so kind of you. And Benita says, housekeeper hands down. Okay. Looks like housekeeper's winning, guys. Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but put your name if you don't mind, Facebook user, because I can't see your name. But she says housekeeper, or he says housekeeper. Nisa says housekeeper as well, and Missy says housekeeper. She has a hubby chef. Awesome. And Jason says housekeeper. Huskies have tons of fur. Oh, okay, yeah, that would be better, huh? Okay, and then Tremaine says housekeeper hands down. And Farrah says great vibes. Appreciate you. Love it. Yes. I'm feeling the vibes too. Okay. All right. So going back to this. If I feel like I'm kind of stuck at a certain level in my business and I just want to kind of kick it up a notch, what kind of advice would you give me? Whether it's my business or career, because we're talking about relationships. What are some things I could do perhaps that maybe I haven't thought about?
I mean, one biggest thing for me is, our biggest piece of advice is get out of your comfort zone, man. Find the people who are where you want to be and ask them how they got there. You'll be surprised how many people are willing to share advice, willing to help you out. You just got to, step out on the ledge and ask them. And most people think, I don't want to waste their time or they'll never talk. You'll be surprised, man, how many people that have helped and guided me when I just ask them, what are some of the things you do? What's your routine? on a daily basis? What's your routine on a monthly basis? You know what I mean? What was your focus, when you were trying to get from point A to point B? Ask, man. You've got a lot. I mean, you just on this podcast alone, we have a lot of tremendous business people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask somebody, man. And you'll be surprised how many people are willing to guide you.
And guys, there's a lot of successful people that are commenting tonight, and I want to thank you guys first of all for being here, but second of all, I encourage a lot of you guys to connect with each other if you haven't already. A lot of the folks who are commenting, I'm connected in some way already, but if this can help you guys out too, where you're able to make new connections you didn't have before, I think that's amazing, and please do that. And I know we're here to help. So if you guys have questions for us, we're willing to help. And you know what? If you got some advice you want to drop on us, go ahead and drop some advice in the comments. Because look, we don't know everything, right? We don't have all the answers. So we appreciate that as well. Okay, so let's close out with something fun here, guys. Okay, so I want to do a would you rather or open-ended question. Which one would you rather?
Let's go with would you rather this time.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. Guys in the comments, I want you guys to answer this for me. Would you rather only be able to read books for the rest of your life or only be able to watch movies for the rest of your life? So you got to give up one. Which one would you keep? Which one would you give up?
Oh, well, it depends. Are the books on? Are they on video? Are they on? Can you download the books?
Okay, let's say you can download the books, but you can't watch movies, or you can watch movies but you can't read the books. Which one would you do?
I would definitely go for the books, man. So much more details the movies leave out.
Really?
And, you can listen to a book while you're traveling on a plane, whether you're driving down the street. So you can only watch video so much. So I barely watch a lot of movies anyway. So I'm more of a book podcast guy.
Wow. I was not expecting that, my man. Okay, so, by the way, Benita says it could be a housekeeper. I don't mind. So she's going to go with the housekeeper too. I'm going to have to go with movies, man, because with the books, what I'm going to do, I already do this now, is I cheat. I'll watch like a YouTube interview of the author, and I get some of the best points from the book by watching that. Or I would probably do like an Audible or something, man. I don't want to give up my movies.
Yeah,
I can't give it up.
I understand, man. They got some good ones out, I guess. I'm just not, I'm more like, if it's, football season's over, basketball season over, baseball season's just getting kicked in. They'll probably keep all my attention before I watch movies, man.
That's a good point. You know what? That is a good point. You kind of talking me out of it a little bit. Because when the season is hot, I forget about watching movies. I'll just watch the shows, the sports. That's interesting. Guys, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Whether you're watching live or on the replay, I cannot believe, guys, how fast this hour has passed by. Should we do something serious, or should I ask you another question? And the folks in the comments question. What do you think, man? I'm gonna let you make the decision.
Let's go serious, man. Let's round it out with some good nuggets.
Okay, let's give them some good nuggets. Make sure that we made it worth their while tonight. So give me what will be kind of your best tips you want to leave with relationship. Whether it's relationship building for sales purposes, growing your career, whatever the case is. What do you want to leave them with tonight?
Hey man, the biggest thing I can leave you with is when you're building those relationships with, like I said, a lot of these people like you and I, we've grown up with them, man. We got great relationships. Listen, man, a lot of people, relationships are built on listening. Can you really say you have a relationship with somebody if you know nothing about them? Open your ears, listen to what they have to say. Really find out what their pain points are. Get to know those guys, and I think that's one of the biggest things in building relationships, just learning how to listen. And that's been my problem. When I used to do a lot of transitional sales, I felt that I wasn't listening because I was just trying to close a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Relationship sales, I might tell you, hey man, you don't even need what we have. Let me introduce you to somebody else, man. I don't even want to waste your time, brother. You know what I mean? We can still go get lunch, but let me find something else that I can help you with. But those are my biggest things, man. The art of listening.
You mentioned earlier too that part of your listening was listening to what they're trying to get out of that event. I remember you said it earlier. So that's part of listening too, is not only what their pain points are, but you mentioned also what are they looking to get out of this, whatever this is.
Yeah. No, and if you do your events right, your networking events, do things right. I mean, at one point we had a list of about 10 people who were waiting for somebody to drop out so they can partner with us. So, I mean, like I said, if you do your events right, man, you will not only do really well yourself and getting the people you want there, hitting all the pain points, you'll have so many people want to join you. I mean, we had a list at one time of 10-person waiting list just to be with us next time we did something.
You just reminded me of something too. I know you've done this well. I know we're running close on time, but I'm going to at least get this out here. Is you found a way at times to sponsor your event or pay for your event by getting sponsors. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, no, it depends on you. You put it out there. You want to get a nice event going. People see where you've had success in the past of doing events. That may not be their cup of tea. You have a lot of smaller firms that don't have a sales and marketing department. So you have a lot of engineers or geologists trying to market or promote their own. So what they do is they team up with you because, hey, you get them in a room with everybody they want to. They just don't know how to get those people together. So you say, hey, you come in, we split it. Next thing you know, you're doing, an $8,000 event, and it's only cost you $800 because you got enough people to split it up with, and you have a great turnout.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Guys, if you don't get anything else, that's another good one right there. That's gold. Because if you're trying to figure out, okay, I want to give this event, but I don't quite have the funds, partner up with some other organizations that would love to get in with you. They just don't want to do all that work, but they definitely will help support your event. So I love that. All right, so I'll quickly go through these comments here before we close out here. So Tremina, she said she's going to go ahead and go with the reading books.
Right on.
She's going to go with the reading books. She's with you on that. Missy says neither. Hey, what kind of answer is that, Missy? Come on. So Benita says virtual book club on Thursdays. We read and you just converse. So she's definitely.
I need that link there, Benita.
Yeah, check out Benita. I know you're on LinkedIn, Matt. So be sure and connect with Benita on LinkedIn. She's got that thing every Thursday there.
Right on.
Okay, and then so she said, I'm doing some social listening right here and loving the gold nuggets. Thanks, everyone. And I want to thank you. Thank you, too, for being here. And Missy says, that's awesome. Guys, everybody, I mean, you guys were amazing tonight in the comments. Y'all brought it. I love it. Y'all brought the energy.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is amazing. The hour just flew by. And Matt, look, let's don't make it another 2 years, okay?
Hey, please. Thank you for having me, Rollins. Thank you for everybody. I mean, hey, dude, Orange, Texas represented today, man. I love those guys, man. Appreciate everybody.
Yes. All right, guys. Listen, love y'all. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Everybody who commented tonight, appreciate y'all. Those who are watching the replay, don't be shy. Come on back. Come on back on the replay and go ahead and comment on there. We're gonna be reading all those comments. But thank you guys. Have a great rest of the evening. In fact, I see other comments coming on right now. We got some. Let's see.
Oh, Malaya. Hey, Malaya.
What you say, Malaya? How you doing, girl? Good to see you. She's here. That's Matthew's sister, Malaya. Awesome. All right, guys. Listen. Have a great rest of the evening. Let's say bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. I'll let it kind of go for a few seconds before I hit that button. I've done in the past where we'll be right in the middle of a statement and it just cuts it off midstream. So I try and wait a few seconds to hit the end broadcast button. Oh, Margo, love you too. Appreciate you
guys,
Margo.
Man. Appreciate you guys for listening in tonight.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all. All right. And we're ending it now.